Okay. So the September 26th meeting of the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability is called to order at 7:13 p.m. I'm going to lead us in a roll call. So we'll begin by calling the roll to establish quorum. Commissioner Godley. Present. Commissioner Driver. Commissioner Minor. Present. Commissioner Preston. Present. Commissioner Terry is present. Commissioner Wardle. With 4 members of the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability present, we have a quorum and we conduct the commission's business. The next item of business is public comment. If you would like to share something related to the commission's work on public safety and accountability, you have a few options. You can speak at a public meeting such as this. You can also submit public comment in writing by emailing your comment to communitycommissionpubliccomment@cityofchicago.org. Or you can bring a copy of your comment to one of the commission's public meetings and give it to someone on the commission or someone on the commission's staff. People who wanted to speak during the public comment period tonight were asked to submit their names in writing. Names were then drawn at random by a member of the commission staff. Speakers will be called in the order in which their names were drawn. If your name is called to offer public comment, we ask that you approach the microphone and line up in the order in which your name is called. When it's your turn to speak, please say your name, then spell your name, then offer your comment. Each speaker will have 2 minutes. We have allotted a total of 20 minutes for public comment. And so are we going to start with our online comments?
We can start with in person.
So the first virtual comment we have is Grace Patino.
Put it in. Jasmine.
Virtual comment, Maurice Woodard. So for those in-person comments, we have Beth Rochford, Jasmine Smith, and Amika Tendaji. If you all can line up in the order of which your names were called to provide your public comment, you each will be provided 2 minutes.
Hi, Elizabeth, traditional spelling Rochford, R-O-C-H-F-O-R-D. I'm a 17th district counselor, and we had a meeting last week, Thursday, and the community asked me to bring a few things forward. They want to know what the next steps are for the traffic stop rewriting of that policy. They want to eliminate TAC teams. And they want to know the status of the joining with the mayor's office to look into what are the plans for making sure that there are not oath keepers or other officers who are still part of extremist groups. And I know we have talked about in the past that you guys were going to join some kind of a task force with the mayor's office. So we would just like an update on what's happening with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, activist Jasmine Smith with Chicago Alliance Against Race and Political Repression. I'm multitasking right now, but I just want to come and just congratulate that we finally have a full city council, despite the fact that one is leaving, but still have a full, not city council, community commission for public safety and accountability. And I just want to ask that, and I know I can't ask questions, but I'm hoping that we can get an update soon in regards of what's the movement and plan going to be in the pretextual traffic stops. I know there was a special meeting that was had in regards to that, and we thank you guys for that and keeping it at the top of y'all to-do list. But just want to just get a sooner update or, where the roads is leading to in regards to that, because it's still very important, as you guys can see, like, it seems like the police is getting more and more loose and reckless with these traffic stops and these killings against innocent people that shouldn't be killed by a simple traffic stop or by just a simple encounter with them. So we definitely would like to get some of the things that's protecting them or that's giving them the urge to do the things that they doing without any accountability or repercussions. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you guys, and keep up the great work. And we pushing for the referendum, you all, to get his body more power right now.
Hi, we are pushing for a referendum to give this body more power. We also,
Name.
my name is Amika Tendaji. We are pushing for this body, for the referendum to give this body more power, but we urgently need this body to take up the work of ending pretextual stops. It being a Chicagoan with police behind you, just in general, is a mental health crisis. I am terrified for myself. I'm terrified for my community. I'm terrified for my children. I just also went to the police board hearing where I watched police exhibit their tendency to just straight up lie. People were told that the meeting was over, they were not allowed in. It's a public meeting, the revolving door is barred. People were turned around, lied to, condescended, and there's not even an understanding of these are working people who may not be able to get to that meeting at exactly on time. There are disabled folks in that meeting like me who might need the help and support of somebody leaving out. There are also families who are singing happy birthday to their loved one who should be here, who was taken out by police, right? And so maybe somebody needs some assistance from their community to get on out of that meeting. Reginald Clay's family in this police board meeting, singing happy birthday and crying tears. He was killed in a foot pursuit. David Curry was just killed in a foot pursuit. And this is happening in the same ward, my ward, where Alderman David Moore is trying so hard to keep ShotSpotter, an investigation of the harm that contract has done. And why we end up with these expensive contracts like the predatory parking that's preying on my community, which results in parking tickets, boots, and another mental health crisis in addition to loss of work. So we need investigations into what happened with David Curry. What's the drag on the consent decree? Thank you.
We've reached the end of public comment period. Thank you all again to all the speakers. We do value your input. The next order of business is the approval of the minutes. Before today's meeting, draft minutes of the commission's regular meeting held on July 25th and August 14th, and special meetings held on July 15th, August 14th, August 27th were shared with all commissioners. Are there any corrections to the draft minutes that have been circulated? If there are no corrections, I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have moved to approve the minutes of the commission's meeting held on the aforementioned dates. Commissioner Presley has seconded. Is there any debate on the motion? Hearing none, we'll move to the vote. Those in favor of adopting the motion to approve the minutes of the commission's meeting held on the aforementioned dates, please say so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. All right, the ayes have it, the motion carries. Our next order of business will be new business. The next item is the approval of a series of closed meetings. Section 2C3 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act allows the commission to meet in closed session to consider the following subjects: the selection of a person to fill a public office as defined in the act, including a vacancy in a public office when the public body is given power to appoint under law or ordinance, or the discipline, performance, or removal of the occupant of public office when the public body is given power to remove the occupant under law or ordinance. Section 2A of the Act authorizes the commission to take a vote to hold a series of closed meetings over the course of not more than 3 months from today, and only for the purposes cited under Section 2C3. Over the next few months, the commission may need to meet in closed session for reasons that are allowed under the Open Meetings Act, including to discuss filling vacancies on the police board. I move to hold a series of closed meetings to take place for the maximum period allowable as authorized by Section 2C3 of the Open Meetings Act. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Terry has moved to hold a series of closed meetings to take place for the maximum period allowable as authorized by Section 2C3 of the Open Meetings Act. Commissioner Gottlieb has seconded. Is there any debate on the motion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Those in favor of holding a series of closed meetings to take place for the maximum time period allowable as authorized by Section 2C3 of the Open Meetings Act, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it and the motion carries. The commission is authorized to hold a series of closed meetings to take place for the maximum time period allowable as authorized by Section 2C3 of the Open Meetings Act. So now the next order of business will be reports and updates. We will begin by discussing working group updates. First will be an update from Commissioner Gottlieb of the COPA working group.
Thank you, Commissioner Terry. So the COPA work group met with COPA Chief Administrator Kirsten and her team on September 17th. The work group had the opportunity to meet with COPA's new Director of Mediation, Daisha Muhammad. COPA is working on a new program that allows someone who brings a complaint to COPA to meet with CPD together with a trained, impartial community mediator to see if there is a way to resolve the issue without a traditional COPA investigation. The mediation program is only available for certain kinds of complaints, and the mediation process could only be used in situations where both sides agree to mediation. So it would only be an option when someone who brings a complaint about a police officer wants to use the process. And anyone who chooses mediation can decide to end it at any point. And the mediation process only gets resolved if both sides agree to it. If a case gets resolved through the mediation, then the complaint gets closed. The commission, along with several district counselors, are meeting with Director Muhammad in early October to learn more about the mediation program. So in addition to the mediation program, at our last meeting, Chief Kirsten and her team also informed the commission that COPA has reached operational compliance with 90% of its obligations under the consent decree. In October, the working group will meet to discuss updates to the 2024 goals and evaluations, covering work from July through September. At that meeting, Chief Kirsten will provide an update on COPA's policy and research division. We will provide an update on these items at the commission's October meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Gottlieb. Are there any questions from the commission? Next, we will have an update from Commissioner Presley of the Police Board Working Group. But before I turn it over to Commissioner Presley, I do want to acknowledge and thank Alderman Matt O'Shea for being here. I also want to acknowledge our newly appointed commissioner, which makes us a full commission, Angel Navarino. And I also would like to acknowledge the district counselors who attend these meetings who are represented from across the city. Commissioner Preston.
Thank you. After engaging in a citywide community outreach effort, the commission received a record number of applications to fill police board vacancies. Commissioners are in the process of reviewing applications and interviews will begin shortly. Next month, commissioners will meet with police board leadership to review goals and evaluations for 2024 and get ready for 2025 goal setting. We will provide an update on these items at the commission's October meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Presley. Are there any questions from the commission? Next will be an update from Commissioner Minor of the Community Engagement Working Group.
Good evening, everyone. The Community Engagement Working Group has put together a plan
for expanding the commission's community engagement in Chicago communities most impacted by policing and public safety issues. In phase one, the commission will begin meeting with groups and organizations focused on the following: youth violence prevention and outreach, faith leaders, CVI and violence prevention groups, justice impacted organizations, If there are any groups or organizations you think the commission should meet with, please let CCPSA staff know or send an email to myself or Commissioner Cotton. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Minor. Are there any questions from the commission? Next, I will provide an update from the CPD Policy Working Group. So commissioners received a revised version of the General Order 01-11 on September 17th. G111 is a new CPD policy that provides direction and guidance about how CPD should work with and support the CCPSA, Commission, and the District Council. Once CCPSA received the revised policy, we compared it with the original policy, and we checked that the new version incorporated the recommended changes that the commissioners discussed with CPD. CPD did incorporate some of the recommended changes, but not all the changes. The commissioners will work with CPD to ensure necessary changes and feedback are incorporated. We are meeting with CPD's Policy Research and Development team on October 1st with the following agenda: resolve any outstanding concerns regarding G111, learn about the implementation of G08-03, which is a general order on the prohibition on criminal and bias-based organizations. The current policy has been in effect since April of 2024. Commissioners will ask CPD about the training efforts related to this policy, including content, delivery method, and what percentage of CPD employees have been trained on this new policy. Commissioners will also request all the data related to any violations of this order. Commissioners will inquire about any additional organizations that have been added to any lists maintained by the Bureau of Counterterrorism. Commissioners will also ask about how CPD monitors their members' social media activity, including fundraising, making personal contributions to specific criminal or bias-based organizations, posting, sharing, liking, following, or otherwise distributing or redistributing content on social media. The commissioners will also compile this information and update the community at an upcoming community commission meeting. Are there any questions from the commission? Next, we'll have an update on the CPD budget, and I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Guy.
So Commissioner Driver and I attended a town hall on CPD's 2025 budget at St. Agnes of Bohemia with the Little Village Community Council on September 18th. We heard directly from impacted community members regarding their concerns about public safety in Little Village and how they think CPD should be prioritizing its spending. Community members were particularly concerned with increasing CPD's victim liaison services, including improving language access services, and with there being greater transparency in the budget around public safety spending. The working group has also been working with district councils to collect each district's feedback on CPD's budget priorities. The thoughts from the district councils will help to inform how Commissioner Driver and I plan to review CPD's proposed budget. As the city's budget process moves into October, we look forward to reviewing CPD's proposed budget for next year and providing an update on any recommendations the commission makes to the department at our next meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Gottlieb. Are there any questions from the commission? All right, so next is an update on the CPD goals and evaluation, and I'm turning it back over to Commissioner Minor.
Thank you. Commissioner Driver and I will be meeting with Superintendent Snelling and his staff next month to discuss the department's Q3 goal deliverables. We look forward to hearing what progress CPD has made to the 2024 goals, particularly interested in the workforce allocation study and training updates on traffic stops, and we will provide further updates on CPD goals at our next meeting. The commission will be assessing the status of the workforce allocation study, which is laid out in both our 2024 CCPSA goals for the superintendent and by city council ordinance. To the community's questions on traffic stop updates, one portion of that is that under the 2024 goals for the police superintendent, Superintendent Snelling has agreed to place a special focus on traffic stops and trainings on constitutional policing, and will do so in a manner that is guided by well-articulated, community-informed strategies. The 2024 goal states that CPD practices must be data-driven, effective, and mindful of equity. As a part of this evaluation for 2024, the commission will be looking for evidence about whether CPD goals, and CPD traffic stop practices will meet that description. In addition to community's comments for a BIA update, at the commission's July monthly meeting, I addressed community's concerns and frustration about BIA's investigations into the Oath Keepers allegations. The outcome of that investigation and BIA's subsequent decision not to reopen the investigation at the recommendation of the Inspector General. One of my commitments to the public was that the commission will take a careful look into the Inspector General's recommendation for the mayoral task force that will plan and implement a comprehensive whole of government approach to preventing, identifying, and eliminating extremist and anti-government activities and associations within CPD. The commission has been working with Deputy Mayor Gatewood and the Office of Community Safety to schedule a conversation between myself, Commissioner Terry, and Deputy Mayor Gatewood to discuss the current status of the task force. I will continue to provide community updates on this as they become available, and I want to say thank you to the leadership of our commission for the continued support and advocacy on this initiative.
Thank you, Commissioner Minor. Are there any questions from the commission? Next, I'll provide an update on traffic stops. So as many of you know, the independent monitor for the CPD consent decree has recommended that traffic stops be included in the consent decree. That would give the Illinois Attorney General and the independent monitor a role in reviewing traffic stop policy and potentially in making changes to traffic stop policy. The commission's view is that if traffic stops are included in the consent decree, the commission must play a significant role. That would include a significant role in exploring any potential changes to CPD policy related to traffic stops. The commission has a proposal for how it could be included in the consent decree work. It would look a lot like the way the commission now works on policy with CPD, and then it would include the Attorney General and the independent monitor in the same way they now work on policy under the consent decree. We'll be meeting soon with the Attorney General's office, the police department, and the City Department of Law to work towards an agreement about the commission's role in the process if traffic stops are included in the consent decree. We look forward to sitting down with all the parties to resolve these issues and begin this important work together. The meeting should happen before the commission's next meeting in October, and we'll provide an update at that time if we have met. Are there any questions from the commission? Seeing none, we will move to adjournment.
To connect with commission via social media, you can find us at www.facebook.com, Chicago CCPSA, or you can search Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability. For Instagram and for Twitter, you can follow us at CCPSA_Chicago, and you can find us on YouTube at Chicago CCPSA.
Thank you. The commission's next regular meeting will be Wednesday, October 30th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. at Kennedy King College. Is there any further business for the commission? Seeing none, I would like to thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope to see you on October 30th, and we hope you stay engaged and encourage people you know to join us in our work. With there being no further business before the commission, this meeting is now adjourned at 7:37 p.m. Thank you all.
Thank you.